big fat jerk. Hello, my friends. We are diving into the actual the actual final arc of this series. We are including this episode 4 episodes away from the end. I know there's a movie. I think there's 1. If there's 2, correct me if I'm wrong. We've reached the end. We've reached the end. Koro Sensei has been kind of cornered, and for a week by the military. An unsurprising turn of events to save their own butts. They have turned it against Koro Sensei and have used the kids as a way of excusing their actions. And the media, of course, is complicit in that, and they don't listen. So, unsurprising. They have pretty much... They're trying to sneak in. They're going to try to say Koro Sensei. They're going to try to say Koro Sensei. Because it takes a week for that big laser, and they want to kill him. They're going to kill him. So despite the fact that he might survive and live a long, or normal human life without any issues, isn't something that was a thing they looked at, but it was more of a, maybe. It was like, well, we might as well explore all avenues, but they really weren't that invested in it. I don't think this series is going to end with Koro Sensei living. I think it's going to die. Not explode and destroy the earth. That's not going to happen. But I don't think it's going to survive. I think in the end, it's going to come down to the kids are going to have to bring about his end, which means they're going to get their money, which is great. I know Koro Sensei would want that. But it's going to be crazy. It's going to be like, oh my gosh, what the heck? But yeah, it's nuts. This has been a very fun, wild ride. Yeah, this has been a very fun season. Again, I've said this before, first half season 1's kind of rough. But after that, boom, 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 boom. Such a good time. Such a good time. Really nothing else to add. Again, we'll be diving into Mob Psycho 100 and My Hero Academia after Assassination Classroom ends, which should be then the first week of August. With Anime Thursdays, again, I'm going to take a little bit of a break until I return back home. So it'll be a couple weeks break before we actually get any new material in that regards. And of course, there's going to be the live action shows. Now, I've actually watched all of Superman. I've recorded all my reactions, just got to edit it. So I'm pretty much caught up with that one. But basically, there's a lot of craziness happening the last couple weeks of my time here in my internship. And it's going to be nuts. But there's really nothing else to add in terms of this series. And except this is going to be a good time. I really appreciate it. So now that I've bothered on long enough, again, if you're watching YouTube, there's no sound. Partial image keeps the copyright monsters, for the most part, at bay. But if you want to watch, there's a link below. You can click that. The website is free. It's no cost. But if you, for some reason, can't watch that website, can't get on that website, for whatever reason, the option of follow along, there is a countdown timer. I do pause about halfway. I usually put a countdown timer, or I used to, and I don't. It's just kind of, I'm lazy. But, countdown timer, let's dive in. Boom. You should be watching. Haha, loud. Fear of heaven, shield of earth. Yeah, to bury Koro Sensei. That is correct. I know they have to end him because he will explode. But in the end, this is all their fault. They're totally trying to cover their butts. $3 hours. So they plan for this whole week, and then they have 3 hours to just, end him, or save him, and I don't think the saving part's gonna take place. This is a bop. You know what stinks though? I am just starting to really enjoy and get to know some of the other characters, and now the show's ending. I'm like, no! At least this series gets to finish out, whereas One Punch Man will never get through season 3. If it is, it's gonna be in like 2025. God, I love these songs. Such a bop. As much as nope, still too loud. As much as I really, really love the fact that a lot of times most animes use a pop song and choose to use it, or maybe they ask a pop group to write the song for them. I don't know which it is, but it is nice when they the singers and are the characters and they record a very specific song for the show. It's really cool. Happy birthday time. It took me forever to realize that each of the period numbers had to do with the episode names or numbers, not the period in class. Gosh darn. I love these two so much. Oh. Yeah. They're gonna take you out, sonny boy. I mean, seriously, they literally trained a bunch of agile, young, full of energy people with teamwork and intelligence, but also the creativity that comes with being, prepubescent. Yeah, not prepubescent. No, they're 15. There's a certain kind of intelligence and creativity that comes with imagination that comes with. No, that didn't sound really good. Basically, super intelligence. And childishness. I do. It's ridiculous. I also... What a throwback. Oh, right, she's ooh. I like how even though she's not out there, she's in her own outfit. Again, the fact that Itona became a part of Terasaka's group is kind of cool. Since it could be easy to say because he's so smart and because of his background, he would maybe connect with Karma. But I love how he was taken in by a bunch of basically, bunch of semi-intelligent individuals. Home base, home turf, man. I know this is the Japanese military. I know it's the Japanese military, but I'm going to assume that when they're indoors, they should have their covers off. Sure. We all love Karma. Well, within reason. Nice. that electricity or zap in Japanese is biribiri? I love that. I forgot about that. Yeah. This overachiever right there. Good job, Ritsu. Ooh, something sticky. I don't know if it's just... Ooh. I think that hits something and not just him. Oh. It wouldn't make sense the closer they get to the actual thing, they would actually face some of the more scary guns. I can't tell if it's just really dark right now in this episode, or I have my brightness of my screen turned down too much. We'll figure it out in a second. Was that a real knife? Nice. Good job, Nagasabab. I said that really weird. I forgot they like our good friend. Oh, they can pass right through. Oh, right, because the only supposed to stop Koro-sensei. By the way, it was my screen. I did adjust it. It's literally just light. But the way the light is, I guess... Well, I guess the way the light is just only affects Koro-sensei. Oh, he's playing with them. What is she... What's that reaction? Ooh, that's really big. I mean, it's charging up, charging up. Yeah. It's got a good point. Yeah. Forgot about his eyes. Yeah. Yep. That's a lot of money. Again, it came, you know. So it was basically paid for by multiple world governments and executed by the Japanese government. So it is their fault. That's a good point. Man, it's so cute. I really do kind of love that Japanese way of going. That little kind of affectionate head thing. Yeah. Oh, they're very E.T. moment. It's moments like this that we love Terasaka. She makes a good point. It made it seem like she was quoting somebody, but we're not quite certain who. True. Totally true. Hmm. Hmm. Just like he did. Not. Oh, that's so good. That's so good. Y'all, this is why people love anime. I'm starting to love anime more than live action shows in their own countries. At least in the Western world. Because we're not getting, like, amazing shows like this. Mm-hmm. Yeah. They could all pursue being assassins in one way or another. You know what I just realized about Terasaka? His hair is reversed in the sense that instead of he doesn't have like frosted tips, he has like frosted sides. Oh, your head pet. Yeah, it's good though, because our texture is like gooey. Because he's accepted his fate, that's why. What did he have? Oh. It's so insane though. Happy birthday. It's such an international tune. That actually looks like a really delicious cake. What a way to end your time on Earth. What happened to his cake? Oh. You ruined his cake! Oh. That's Red Skull. Of course, they turn him into a monster. Full circle, y'all. Full circle. And he doesn't care because that thing will get destroyed right when the laser goes off. But he wants to destroy him. Man, he ruined his cake. That was... I'm so focused now. I was like, he ruined his cake. And you know they were waiting in the wings. They were watching them and waiting for them to finish that song. I'm so mad about that. That was a pretty cake. It's probably a really delicious cake too. Also, it's very impressive that Nakamura is that good that she was able to gently and swiftly move through the forest like that and not like mess it up. We could all use those kind of skills when it comes to transporting food. In all seriousness, if anyone is to, receive a cruel death in this series, it should be him. He's awful. And he doesn't care because guess what? Again, when the laser goes off, not only will Koro-sensei be destroyed, nothing else will be, but also his creation. And it was his doing. It was his fault that the moon got exploded. It was his fault that Koro-sensei became what he is. And it makes me wonder, I mean, did the government, did he get to keep his job after all of this? Or did the government let him go? Because of just, he screwed up, really, really badly screwed up. I don't know. He ruined his cake. I'm so mad. I'm so mad about that because it looks so good. I wonder how much of a willing subject he was because that is a disgusting, gross monstrosity. There was. Mm-hmm. He cultivated resentment. That's what cultivated in his heart, resentment. He really didn't, which is interesting. It wasn't. I mean, a lot of times he's not even looking him in the eye. And well, not, I guess technically not last, but yeah. I'm assuming that by the sound of it, that definitely, clearly definitely not part of the government plan. What's interesting is that he still moves like he did as a human. He is a mindless, frightening creature. So he was a more willing subject? Not your sister. That's why he's so big like that. Dang. Initial velocity. Because he's a willing slave. And a power-hungry nut job. Versus the kids, they had more of a personality. And they had more of, you know, heart, and they were growing. Yep, he's disposable. That's his hope. Yeah, he doesn't care anything about sanctity of life. Yeah. That's not good. I guess he has nothing left to live. He's been fired. Someone. An evil, terrible, terrible man. Really is. Oh gosh, they're in the sports field. We're about to experience that. Ooh. It's a good timing on those sirens. Okay. Yo, this is insane. This is a crazy episode. If it wasn't for the irritating ads on Hulu, I would be pulled out of it as much. But I guess in this case, it's a good thing. I think we've been overwhelmed with like just that much boom, 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 boom. Oh, how can you taught me gently? These songs are cute. I'm just reading the lyrics now. Final boss time. Okay. Well, let's talk about this insanity of an episode, shall we? Now that I fixed the brightness of my screen, I can see a little better. Though I guess it would have been more special if I did that when they were in the dark woods. I was so focused on the kids, getting there to Koro-sensei. And so, you know, just drawn in by the cake and the sweetness, totally forgot there were other evil human beings out there trying to kill him. But, I mean, we're doing a lot of full circle stuff. I appreciate that. Always do. Dang. But clearly, this guy, I mean, he's lost his mind. And he doesn't care anymore. I mean, the man's just... And you know what? An evil human being like him, reaching a certain breaking point, he would end his own life. He just has no regard for life. And I guess he only really, and probably in his mind, wanted to live because it meant, you know, he would get what he wanted. But now that he no longer can probably get what he wants, now that once the monster's dead, he'll be purposeless in life. Government probably won't want him around anymore. And of course he would completely end his life. He's an evil nut job. He's an evil nut job. And it's always interesting how the show really only has had a few truly evil characters. There was the Oh, it's Takaka? No, it's not. It's totally not it. Oh, but it's that nut job army guy that the Terasaka that I've said Terasaka could have easily become if it wasn't for Kota Sensei and some of the others' interventions on him. But that evil guy, that military guy, Red Skull, wants to call him Reaper 2.0, and then this Shinso dude. I think it's Shinso. I mean, out of all the other characters have been just doing their jobs, which the assassins have just been a little surly. Have been like, they haven't been truly like, oh, these are truly bad guys. So we've only really had 3 truly real bad guys. And those bad guys, I mean, we each experienced an arc which led up to facing those bad guys. But now it's all coming together. Now, the other guy was dealt in season 1. He's not coming back around. But these guys were problems this season. Like, even more so than before. So that's why they need to be dealt with now. And the fact that this guy, as well as the other, including Red Skull, have tentacles. When that cannon goes off, they'll die too. They just don't care because they're just power hungry and insane and are just evil individuals who don't. I don't know. It's hard to put into words, but yeah, they're awful. They're awful, and of all the characters, we're not going to miss them when they go. Like, we're looking forward to that, interestingly enough. But Koro Sensei is probably going to die too, and that's what we don't want. Can't avoid it, but we don't want it. Anyway, I'm going to be diving into episode 23 immediately after this. So, if you're watching this, 23 should be airing soon. I don't know how long this reaction video will end up being. If it's around 30 minutes, then you'll see the reaction soon. Usually, if I'm doing 2 reactions within the same day, I'll put them about 30 minutes apart. Give you a little bit of pacing time so you can take your time watching through things. Or not. Your choice. Whatevs. Anyway, this has been a great episode. It started off... I do appreciate... And we do experience this in other anime as well, but I think Assassination Class does a really good job of like continuing on an arc from a previous episode in the first half of the episode, and then doing like a mini arc, kind of bring the episode to a close, or kicking off the arc that will feed into the next episode. So they kind of treat the storylines, the episodes, kind of like a chain link fence, where here's the episode and here's the storylines. So I really do appreciate that. I think that's really nice, and it's a lot of fun. That's all I've got to say anyway. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, share with enemies. Hopefully my sound's a little bit better because I moved the mic closer to me. I'll see you next time.